Hello, my name is Gideon Wood with Drill Team Dynamics, and welcome to the first episode of my passion project over drill motivation, which is about servant leadership and followership. Alright, so let's hop right into this topic with how leadership and motivation are connected. Some people might think that leadership and motivation are completely different topics, but they really aren't. They go hand in hand. Let's say you have a commander for your unarmed exhibition team, and they are not a very good commander. They completely suck out all your motivation to show up to practice, show up to drill meets, practice on your own, or even want to do drill in the first place. It just completely sucks you dry of motivation and drive. And so some of the topics going over in this episode are going to talk about a specific kind of leadership, servant leadership, which you can use as a cadet to further other cadets within your program when you are given the opportunity in a servant leadership position, such as a commander for one of your teams. So, there's a slide popping up there, and two sides to the slide. One says traditional leadership, and the other says servant leadership. And I'm going to highlight a couple points on each of those slides. So if you look in the traditional leadership on the first bullet point, it says a traditional leader sees leadership as a rank to be obtained. They're only in it for the rank. So for instance, you have your armed exhibition commander. The only reason they would like to be the armed exhibition commander is to say they were the armed exhibition commander, or any leadership position for that matter. The only reason they want to be the Secretary of Defense is to say they were the Secretary of Defense. Now, you see on the other side of the slide where it says servant leadership. And the first bulletin contrasting that says they see leadership as an opportunity to serve others. And that is the state of mind you want to have when going into your leadership position. Now, that's not denying the fact that getting the position of your armed ex commander or your battalion commander or anything like that is not a great honor, and it's cool to be able to say you obtained that rank. That's awesome. Good for you. You worked hard. You got there. But you need to be looking at that as a position to serve others and help others grow more in drill, in life skills, etc. So, servant leadership or followership. In order to be a good leader, you need to be able to follow others first. Now, there have been people who can just jump right in and, lead right off the bat, but even then, they're really not that great at it. They might be better than others. But learning how to follow someone, being able to follow a good leader, will help you be a better leader when you get that leadership position. There's a story my SAI always told us, and it's about an officer in the Army. And they're off at a camp somewhere during wartime. And one of his sergeants comes up to him while he's going over a plan and says, "Sir, the food's ready. We're ready to feed the troops and eat. Would you like to go first?" And the officer says, "No, I'm not going to eat first. Get the troops through and get them to eat. Come get me when everyone's done." And so they have hundreds of troops, and all the troops go through and they get food, and the sergeants eat, and there's even seconds. And then they realize that they forgot about the officer. And when he comes out, there's no food. And the officer just says, "Oh, well, at least the rest of my men got food." He goes back in and keeps working. So one of the sergeants notices this, and he goes around to all of the troops, and he has a plate. And he says, "Hey, the officer didn't get any of the food. He let everyone else go first, and he didn't get anything. He's starving. Let's get some food." And all the troops are way into this. They start stacking food on the plate, and pretty soon there's this plate with this big old mountain pile of food. And the sergeant takes it into the officer and says, "Here you go, sir. Thank you for allowing us to get our food first before you. Here's your food." So that's a great picture and a great analogy of what servant leadership is. It's allowing others to go first. It's putting others' needs in front of yours. And if you can understand this mentality of being a servant leader, that you are put in a leadership position to help others and not just to obtain the rank, the title, you're going to motivate yourself. Sure, you might motivate other people, but it's like when you're running. If you're running 3 miles and you're with someone and they're starting to break down, and you're like, come on, man, keep going, keep going, keep going. They get motivated and they drive even harder. And you may be struggling too, but if you motivate someone else, your motivation boosts up as well just from motivating that other person. And so you have this chain of events where you may not feel motivated, but you're in a leadership position. You know you're there to serve others. So you motivate these other people. You tell them they're doing a good job. You look for progress, not for results. And they get motivated and their drive picks up. And in turn, you get motivated and your drive picks up. And that's just, it's a wonderful thing, and it's a wonderful system. And that about wraps it up for this video. Talk a little bit about the schedule for the rest of this project. I know that this is not a Wednesday, but I will be posting from now on Wednesdays. I had some personal things going on this past Wednesday, so I apologize for that, and I hope to see you in the next video.